Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, when a priest and a novice nun on the verge of taking her final vows go to a remote Romanian convent to investigate the suicide of a nun, they uncover a deadly, dark, demonic secret that will drive them insane. Tonight's show, starring Damien Bashir and Taisa Farmiga, The Nun. From the Conjuring universe comes another unspeakable horror.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the episode 1 of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Unchained from the Content Nazis. Yes, unfortunately, that's the name of this. I mean, I only had 3 things to choose from. Actually, I shouldn't have been choosing from anything because it should have been voted on, and the number 1 should have rose up like the cream. But no, it didn't, and it was a 3-way tie. And the other 2, as much as I love True Gamer King, November edition just is not going to do it. And there's no way in heck I'm going to be calling it Exploding Fetuses 2, The Re-Fetusing. Because, yeah, like, I'm not going to give YouTube any more excuses to destroy my channel. Anyway, so yes, it's Unchained from the Content Nazis, even though I'm completely chained by the Content Nazis. Those jackasses. Anyway, so that is this year's, what is it, year 7, year 8? I don't know, I lost count. I'll figure it out in editing. Anyways, so yes, it is the beginning of a new 31 straight nights of me torturing myself, and literally it's probably going to be torture, and I may not live long enough to even finish this, but whatever. I will do it for the honor and the glory of horror, because I love horror, and you all should love horror too. Anyways, so tonight, I will review a movie that's still in theaters as of recording this, and that is The Nun, yes, from the Conjuring universe, The Nun. And I am a big fan of the Conjuring universe. I love the Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, love it. Annabelle... So, will The Nun be yeah, or will it be yeah? Well, we will find out. So, what is The Nun about? Well, I'm glad you ask. In a remote village convent, a nun commits suicide, and word of it travels to the Vatican, and the Vatican dispatches a priest with exorcismal experience along with a nun, but she hasn't taken her vows, so she's a pre-nun, whatever. I forgot what the proper term for that was. Anyways, but she has in her past seen visions, so they figured she would be good for this situation here. And so they go to investigate what's going on. Why would the nun commit suicide? Why do all the villagers think the place is cursed? Well, it's because this convent was built on the site of where a nobleman or whatever, some guy wanted to conjure up a demon. And, of course, the church had to step in and dispatch him and then seal the demon away. And of course they built the convent on there so that they can remain ever vigilant to make sure that the demon does not come back. Well, of course, World War II happened, and there was bombs going off, and it shook the convent, got hit, and therefore all of a sudden, the evil started to leach out and affect the convent. So, the investigators go to see what was going on and to try to fight the evil. And that's really basically the gist of the story. They meet a local, he's actually a traveler from Canada, but he's been living there for quite a while, and he was responsible for delivering food to the convent. And so they kind of investigate these spooky, scary happenings, and things go not the way they were planning. Anyway, so let's get to those scores. Violence and gore, I am giving it a 1.5 out of 5. Really, there's not a lot of blood, not a lot of violence in this movie, not a lot of death either. However, there are some decent gore effects on the dead nun. Birds were kind of pecking away at her face, so that was kind of gross and disgusting and nicely done. But honestly, aside from that, you had some CGI buffoonery going on and not much else. So 1.5 out of 5. Shock value, 1 out of 5. Look, this is kind of disappointing, but the jump scares are so telegraphed in this movie, and it just doesn't get a good job of just getting you. And unfortunately, because of that, it's not really a lot of shocking stuff going on. Really, the shocking things that do happen are done okay, but it's nothing to write home about. So 1 out of 5. Plot, 2 out of 5. So this is where the movie really fails me, is the plot is so just nonsensical. Like, all this stuff that goes on in this movie makes no sense when you look at it on a broader context. I don't want to get into spoilers around here, but the way that they kind of link it to Annabelle creation makes no sense, because it's like, well, if Annabelle creation happens, and it happens after this, which is what it sounds like it does, that's impossible, because of what's happening in this movie makes that impossible. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but there's a thing about what happens to the nuns in this convent that makes it like just ridiculous. This can't happen, because, like I said, I want to say things, but because of spoilers. But if there's so much manipulation going on by this evil demon, to the point of how the movie is setting things up, then the evil demon should have completely annihilated them instantly, because of the amount of manipulation and power this thing has. But also, there are things that would happen within the manipulation that would be well, that kind of helps the people to stop the demon. So why would the demon be helping them to stop themselves? I don't know. That's the thing. It's anyone who's watched this movie will know exactly what I'm talking about, and it makes no sense. And so, yeah, 2 out of 5. It's a mess of a plot when you're thinking about certain major points in this movie, and that is really not a good thing to have, to make things seem illogical, unnecessary, unrealistic. If talk about realism in a movie about demons and possession and stuff like that, but still, it is, and there's a lot of plot conveniences also. So I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. Acting, 4 out of 5. Actually, I think the acting in the movie is the strongest part. I like the characters. I like how they're acted. The guy who plays the priest is wonderful. The nun. The nun in training, I think she does a really good job portraying the curiosity and yet purity of her character. And Frenchie, I think he did a pretty good job of this sort of reluctant hero, kind of scared of what's going on at the convent. But so wonderful performances. Unfortunately, if they would have had a better plot, a better script, I guess it would have been much better. So 4 out of 5. Nudity, 0 out of 5. This is not going to be a nunsploitation film, even though I was kind of hoping maybe somewhere in there would be a little possessed nun sexiness, but no, it's not going to happen. Not in the Conjuring universe, anyways. But so 0 out of 5. My enjoyment factor, I'm giving it a 2.7 out of 5. Look, what this movie nails is the atmosphere. I loved the atmosphere, the look, the darkness of the whole thing when they get to the convent. I loved it. It has an uneasy feeling throughout the movie, and that is really good. So I really loved that. I was entertained. I was invested in the characters. I wanted to see the story through. Unfortunately, the plot falls apart. It's got just illogical stuff going on, and it doesn't do the suspense. It doesn't do the tension like the other Conjuring movies, where the Conjuring movies were a crescendo throughout the movie. Of it just starts like really low, and just keeps gradually building and building and building and building until you get to a point in the movie where you're like, oh man, this is intense. And then you start feeling the weight crush you toward the end, and it's all tension. Yes, little bits of release here, but it is just, going up. With this movie, it's more like little smacks, like we get a little bit of tension, and bam, there we go, and then back down, no tension at all. So it's just like a lot of like cymbal hits, I guess you would say, like musically, where it's just there's the hit, and it doesn't really do a good job of establishing the tension throughout the entirety of the movie. And so you didn't get that, even though you get this uneasy feeling, and it's eerie, and it's spooky and creepy, it just doesn't deliver on the shock and the tension like the other movies in this series. So that's unfortunate. But still, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I just don't think it's like great. I don't think it's that good. So 2.75 out of 5. My overall impression is a 2.5 out of 5. In the end, it ends up just being very average. And there are memorable moments, but for the most part, it's like a movie that you can kind of go, I can watch it or I can not watch it, And that's sad. I mean, it's not horrible. You're not pissed off and you're not wanting your money back, but you're not really happy with it. It's got its problems. So 2.5 out of 5. That averages out to a 2 out of 5. And there you have my review of The Nun with the scores and everything. So tell me, have you seen The Nun? Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments section. Tell me what you think of the name of this, Unchained from the Content Nazis. Do not ask for exploding fetuses to show up. It's just not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. Anyway, so look, I survived the first episode, which is always the one to kick everything off. Pretty soon, man, I'll just be rolling through everything, or I will be just withering away. I don't know. But, so there you have it. Episode 1 in the books tonight is over, and I will see you tomorrow night for another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Unchained from the Content Nazis. And until then, stay scary, Internet. Mwah!